Hey there, welcome to this explainer. Shaping the future of your community, and really our entire nation, is literally just a few clicks away. Today, we're diving into exactly how incredibly easy it is to register to vote online in Alaska.
So, are you ready to shape the future of Alaska? Because participating in our democracy is an absolutely vital step for every single eligible citizen. And honestly, thanks to Alaska's totally streamlined online system, making your voice heard has never been more accessible or convenient. You can officially forget about waiting in those long lines. You're going to be able to do this right from your couch in like 2 minutes flat.
All right, let's just quickly glance at our roadmap for today. We're going to cover getting started in Alaska, are you eligible to vote, the 5 steps to register online, deadlines and important reminders, and finally, troubleshooting and getting help.
Let's jump right into Section 1, Getting Started in Alaska.
Moving on to Section 2, are you eligible to vote? Okay, so the baseline requirements, they're actually really straightforward. You've got to be a United States citizen and a resident of Alaska. Plus, you need to be at least 18 years old to actually cast a ballot. But here's a really fantastic feature. Alaska actually allows you to pre-register if you're within 90 days of your 18th birthday. So if we have any high school seniors tuning in, definitely pay attention. You can get this entire step checked off your to-do list ahead of time.
And here is a totally crucial point. You do not need a traditional home to vote. The resources clearly point out that if you're experiencing homelessness or are unhoused, you can absolutely still register. You can literally use a shelter bed, a hotel, or even a park bench as your legal physical residence in Alaska. The whole system is fundamentally designed to make sure absolutely everyone has access to the ballot box.
This accessibility also totally extends to folks who might have a criminal record. If you were previously incarcerated for a disqualifying felony, which Alaska law actually calls a felony involving moral turpitude, you might think, well, I'm just locked out of the system forever. But actually, your voting rights are completely restored the second you achieve what's called an unconditional discharge. That simply means you are no longer under any Department of Corrections custody or supervision. And yep, that includes probation or parole. Once you cross that finish line, you are right back in the democratic process.
All right, let's get into the main event with Section 3, 5 steps to register online.
Before you even start clicking around, here's a quick pro tip. Have your Alaska driver's license or state ID sitting right there with you. This online system, which is often called OLVR, connects directly with the Division of Motor Vehicles to make the whole registration super seamless. Okay, so step 1 is the eligibility attestation. The system is just going to first ask you to confirm your citizenship and age. Now, if you don't meet those basic requirements, the session stops right there. Step 2 is identifier collection. This is where you'll enter your full legal name, your date of birth, the last 4 digits of your social security number, and, this is the crucial part, your Alaska driver's license or state ID number. That information needs to exactly match what the DMV has on file down to the letter.
Moving right along, in Step 3, which is DMV validation and consent, the system is checking all that data. You'll then just need to click a little box consenting to let them use your digital signature from the DMV for your official voter file. Super easy. Then comes Step 4, residential mapping. You're going to enter your physical address so they can figure out your voting precinct. Just keep in mind this cannot be a P.O. box, though you can totally specify a separate mailing address if you need to. And finally, we hit Step 5, final transmission. You just hit submit, and boom, your application is securely sent off for a 2 to 4 week administrative review.
Now for a really important part. Section 4, Deadlines and Important Reminders.
Okay, you have got to memorize this number, 30. 30 days. Honestly, setting a calendar reminder on your phone right this second is highly recommended. You have to be registered at least 30 days before Election Day if you want to cast a full ballot in literally any municipal, state primary, or general election in Alaska. Now, if you happen to miss this window during a presidential election year, you are only allowed to vote for the president and vice president using a same-day registration process, which is great for the top of the ticket, but you will completely miss out on having a say in all those crucial local and state races.
And here's a very unique quirk about Alaska that you absolutely need to remember: the Sunday cutoff. Because elections always land on Tuesdays, that 30-day deadline we just talked about, it always falls on a Sunday. Now, unlike some other states where deadlines might conveniently roll over to Monday if they land on a weekend, Alaska's deadline rigidly persists on that Sunday. No exceptions. So whether you are submitting your info online or you're postmarking a paper form, it has got to be done by that weekend day. Do not wait for Monday.
Which brings us to our last topic, Section 5, Troubleshooting and Getting Help.
Let's look at what happens if you hit a roadblock. Because listen,
Absolutely no one should be locked out of the democratic process. Sometimes technology just fails us, or maybe our personal situations are a bit unique. Like, what happens if you live out in a rural area, or you simply just don't have an Alaska driver's license or state ID? Well, the online system is going to fail to validate you, just because it heavily relies on that DMV signature transfer. But don't worry, seriously, you have an excellent alternative. The system is actually going to seamlessly guide you straight over to a paper application.
You can just print this exact paper form right from your computer. You just fill it out, sign it by hand with a regular pen, and then submit it by mail, fax, or even as an email attachment directly to your regional elections office. And the great thing is, when you use this paper form, you can verify your identity using alternative IDs. We're talking things like a US passport, a birth certificate, or even an Alaska hunting or fishing license.
And please remember this vital piece of information. Say you've registered, you did everything right, but you show up to the polls and suddenly there's some random issue with your identification or your name isn't on the register for some reason. You always have the right to request and sign what's called a questioned ballot. Your vote will be securely held while they verify your eligibility so you don't lose your voice.
If you ever find yourself confused, facing barriers, or you just need some help securing a valid ID, please don't give up. There are some truly fantastic resources standing by just waiting to help you navigate the system. You can always visit the Division of Elections directly, you can call the Vote Riders Helpline, they offer free help getting an ID, or you can reach out to the Election Protection Hotline. Seriously, save these numbers in your phone. They're incredible resources to have in your back pocket.
Just before we wrap up today, we do need to include a quick professional disclaimer. While this explainer provides a super comprehensive guide based on the laws and tools available right now, election procedures and dates can and do change over time. Therefore, we highly recommend that you always visit the official Alaska Division of Elections website just to verify the absolute most current, up-to-date information.
Wow, okay, we have covered a lot of ground today. So I have to ask, will you take just 2 minutes right now to ensure your voice is heard? I strongly encourage you to go online, check your status, or register today. And please, share this explainer with your friends, your family, your neighbors. Our democracy works best when everyone's voice is in the mix. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and get out there and vote.